The music comes in before the boot for the logo actually zooms in, which cuts some of the punch from the intro. I didn't even see the rat here in this intro scene until my second viewing of the video in slow motion. What's lighting up the title model here? All the other lights seen are either orange or the two bright blues, so where's the white light illuminating the title coming from? This person's walk cycle has no ups and downs, and his arms look like they're punching the air instead of swinging back and forth like a normal human being. This kid has no animation except for when he moves one frame. I guess when you live in a city as restrictive as this, pretending to be a statue is more entertaining than sitting inside doing nothing. Similarly, this guy just ceases to be animated halfway through the shot. This report use of unwarranted crafting sign, spelt unwarranted wrong. Also, it's so small in the middle of such a busy scene. The detail of crafting being regulated is extremely important for the context of the video, but it's shown super briefly and not very well. Where is this? The camera was zooming in towards the building with the unwarranted crafting sign, but this is a completely different building altogether, and it isn't even seen in the opening title scene. Since she doesn't have a name, I'm calling this woman Blondie. Blondie's arm comes to a complete stop after she sets her hand on the edge of the sink. Also, that head turn was super snappy. Very snappier neck snappy. Also, squirrel!
Oh! A rat!
This video is about crafting and the controlling state of the city, but somehow Blondie has managed to collect at minimum 7 bones? Where would someone get bones? Has she been grave digging? Why does she have 20 of the same exact pots? Wouldn't she have like at least a bowl or a fork or something? Or does she just sip straight out of the giant pots all day? The rat eats the food, but there's no bite marks. Actually, scratch that, he's not even attempting to nibble it. He's just smacking his mouth on top of it.
What would you say if someone
Blondie's hair just comes straight off her head as she jumps. Maybe she's wearing a weave. It seems to be the hot new trend. Blondie goes slow-mo at the end of that jump. Dramatic effect.
Someone told you that there's
In the shot before, Blondie is across the room by the sink, but in the next shot, she's right next to the counter. Blondie's book moves without her even touching it.
something else out there.
Honestly, with the lighting and the way this is framed, I thought this rat was a spider at first. Blondie's leg becomes unnaturally stretched as she lunges. Once the book lands, it becomes permanently fixed to the floor. Blondie has strange pegs at where her ankles would be in this shot, and it just irks me. So, Ant Venom's a criminal now, huh? I guess he broke Minecraft so many times, he's a wanted man now. Ah! That was freaky beyond all reason. She just turned her head like a robot and stared directly into the camera.
Change your whole perspective, how you think, and no one...
Question, why is Blondie so mad at this one rat? Because it scared her? Because it got close to her book? Is that really enough to send a grown woman into a frenzy? Brown-haired guy here is unnaturally fixated by whatever that is. I can't honestly tell what the heck he's looking at. Also, Blondie's flailing and running and screaming cycle doesn't have any ups and downs.
And no one...
Blondie would have absolutely broken her ankle running like that. The animators made her jump so close to the curb, just so they didn't have to animate her jumping in the middle of her deranged run cycle.
aware.
Why does this dude look so green? He's not a zombie, but he's literally on his way to yelling at that rat.
What are you doing in my swamp?
Shrek's cousin's hair is so reflective here. Could be the grease from not washing your hair for a few months, who knows?
Dancers past...
Why are the chickens stomping the ground like that? Did the animators see that one video of the seagulls doing it and just assume all birds stand in place and stomp on the ground with the energy of a cymbal monkey? The chicken's beat doesn't even connect with the seeds at all.
The lies...
Okay, that wasn't even the rat's fault. You threw those seeds way off. Were you even aiming for those chickens?
that they...
Troll Boy, as I shall call this little redhead, switches eye position in one frame. Either those are pumpkins or the soil is tilled on the side. Whatever it is, it gets us in.
show. Run out and discover.
For no reason whatsoever, Troll Boy, Shrek's cousin, and Blondie are all now chasing after this rat. It's done nothing out of the ordinary. It seems completely arbitrary for these three to chase a rat, and just forces the plot into motion like a cat forces a cup off a table. The red dots on this electric line should be moving, but instead the animators put lights that move over them when that isn't what we saw earlier. The run cycles, though not failing in having variety, seem very unnatural. Trollboy here runs while leaning back. Blondie is hunched forward because her model doesn't allow for her to comfortably lean forward. And Shrek's cousin is just going on a nice jog. They're also all moving forwards way faster than the run cycle is moving.
Find the truth that they know.
The wire goes from being at the top left to far up at the right, with no context given between the two shots to establish how the wire or the rat could have gotten up there. This building and the floor are made of the same material, and thus blend together. I'd be a bit nervous about a building made of sidewalk stone. This metal rod catches the light of the lamp, even though its position wouldn't let it.
If there's danger near, or
This face.
or a chilling fear of pain and darkness.
This villager comes out of nowhere. We see him once before and it just jumps straight into the action without showing us what his motives are. He just runs the entire length of this alley with his arm held up. I mean, that pickaxe has to be heavy, right?
Through the starless
The pixel that the villager breaks jumped away from his pickaxe like a cat avoiding a cucumber. The glow on the entire pickaxe focuses into the middle of the handle.
through the starless night, level up.
When he breaks the wall, all that's left is a pixel-wide edge. The light from the outside flickers on as it finally realized it's being broken out too.
Up and fight the fight.
The villager moves from being right beside the wall to being in the midst of the walkway with active redstone in his hand.
Wait for my life.
The lighting flickers from the redstone torch turning.
Pain and darkness.
Shadows on the piston heads disappear as they retract.
The fight for my life.
Trollboy spits out gray globs. I think you should go see a doctor. Also, those gray blobs just disappear in the air and don't even hit his hand.
Well, now I found out that there's something else out there.
Trollboy and Shrek's cousin phase out of existence for Blondie's scene, and I'm calling this strike 3 in terms of continuity errors.
It's out there.
That hole is 2 blocks high. Can't they all just, yeet out of there right now? I don't see what the holdup is.
And down
Oh,
the
wait.
door.
Now I see the holdup. The hole suddenly changes to only be 1 block high in between shots. How convenient.
A new re-
Oh, so this is the Lorax. This is basically just the Lorax, but Minecraft. Cool.
Beyond these walls, there's more.
For a single frame, Blondie's jacket clips through her face.
Old rules and corruption.
The Illager's animation here is super linear.
They won't blind us.
The diamond pixel shines for the guard to know that, yes, this is a diamond bit.
I'll hit the ground running.
The method for floating numbers telling how much of something one has is only used this one time in the video, and even then, we don't know exactly what they're referring to. They should be smaller and more directly above a singular object, as having 5 hover over 2 redstone torches is completely redundant. Do they have 5 torches? 2 sets of 5? We may never know. That or someone needs to go back to kindergarten. Blondie's hair just exploded when she whipped her head back to look at the window.
We'll push on till dawn.
This might just be the worst frame shot I've ever seen. Where are you supposed to be looking? Also, not only is this animation of the Illager shifting from leg to leg pretty awful, he would have fallen straight into the ground standing like that.
Up and fight the fight for my life.
Seems awfully convenient that all those walls they're mining happen to be 1 by 2 pixels thick and only the exact place they're mining.
Pain and darkness.
Oh, come on. You missed the perfect chance to have a transition where the train moves across the screen, wiping into the next shot. Instead, the scene just appears with the train extremely close to the camera. When this Illager jumps, the reflective buckles on him flash for a frame.
Through the starless night.
I don't know what this Illager is doing, but he's got some fire dance moves.
Level up and fight the fight for my.
Shrek's cousin gets an enchanted diamond sword? Where? When? Why? How? Why is because of the plot. All the other questions, not a clue. The slam didn't feel like it had any sort of strength to the impact at all. Also, that camera work is interesting to say the least. And so, Blondie silently slid down to the void, where we never saw her again. The end. What is this guy? The Flash? There's no way he's running faster than a train.
My life. If there's danger.
Train knows.
My life.
Little explosion particles pop up before the train got to them.
Fear of pain and darkness.
The way Blondie jumps out of the minecart, it looks like she was yanked out of it in midair.
Through the starless hellish night.
Well, that was the slowest barrage of arrows I've ever seen.
Level up and fight the
Not a single illager here is moving. This is so lazy, I'm gonna add 1 sin for every illager that isn't moving.
fight for my life.
Strange how Blondie, living in a society where crafting is banned, knows how to craft TNT. Maybe she's known how to craft it before we saw her, but that illegal behavior was never suggested or alluded to before. Honestly, this animation would have been better as a short film, not a 4-minute video. The flint and steel get lit before they interact with each other. Plus, knocking a piece of metal against a bit of flint will never make a flash that big and bright. Ah! T-pose golem! Troll Boy's mouth disappears for 2 frames. Oh my gosh, T-pose golem is back! Seriously though, how did that get left in? What are you doing? This is not the time for a secret meeting. They're getting away and you have a whole pack of dogs and a horse right there. They're only about 30 feet away. This is your chance to get them.
Ho 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 ho.
Mike Wazowski helmet. In conclusion, the animation as a whole was decent. I'm sad to say though that the quality of the animation didn't carry the video to great lengths, because the concept was really good and could have had made for a truly great music video experience. Instead, we kinda just get thrown into the thick of it without an introduction to the characters, so it doesn't give us any reason to connect with them whenever the climax rolls in. Plus, the song doesn't really follow the story, so it all just makes this animation feel very forced. Hopefully, the sequel will be an improvement in all departments.